I'm excited to share with you an abundance hack that really helps me, and it landed on my heart today because there's a lot of different energy in the world right now, just with so much going on. So if you're feeling a little wobbly, a little funky, it's not in your head. It is absolutely a part of the Mercury retrograde. I always have a hard time saying that word. And also the solar eclipse, and we just got done with the holiday weekend, and there's a lot going on, and it's storming here in Columbus, Ohio, so it's a lot of crazy energy, but that also is a very exciting time because challenging energy, challenging times make incredible humans. So it's actually a huge opportunity to really lean into your energy and work through anything. And so what I know to always do is to go into abundance. And abundance is just a really fancy word for overflow. Overflow of anything that you're desiring. Overflow of money, overflow of joy, overflow of happiness. I even love that the word abundance has the word dance in it, which to me is movement, right? So if we're wanting and desiring more abundance, let's move. Let's literally put on a playlist and let's move our body and dance and be silly. And that alone is going to shift your energy. So this is a hack that I hope really blesses your life. Before I get into it, I do want to give our shout out to our sponsor of the Doodle, which is Kathy. Kathy is doing something really cool online where I like to call her Amazon. She finds incredible deals. She's like the Amazon that meets TJ Maxx online, but she finds incredible deals for you. Everything's new, overstock of items, sells it online, and you can be anywhere. So it's pretty cool. So make sure that you connect with Kathy. I made sure to tag her in this video. And if you're listening to this training, we will make sure that her information is tagged as well. So I wanted to make sure I gave her a shout out. I love you, Kathy. Thank you for sponsoring this doodle. So movement, right? So if we're going to want more abundance, more overflow, we've got to move. Give me a yes in the chat. Yes, we've got to move. We've got to move. So when we have any of that funky energy, or we're just simply desiring more overflow, move. Truly move. Move your arms, move your legs, move your head, move your whole entire body. But it really is so freaking powerful. And I wanted to share this overflow trick for you because abundance is overflow, which means if this was you and this was your cup, what is your cup at right now? Is it halfway where your cup is half full? Is it down here where it's barely hanging on? Is it not even existent, right? Is it all the way at the very bottom? There's one little drop, or is it closer to the top or overflowing? So I would love for you to gauge where you're at right now. Don't judge yourself for it. Just check in with yourself. And quite literally, I'm about to go to bed after this doodle. And so my cup is needing to be filled up again. I'm tired. I worked out. I wanted to make sure I fulfilled my commitment of the wealth doodle, but I'm ready to get my cup filled up again. So the reason why this is so important, if we know abundance is overflow, and I understand that the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup can be a little cheesy, but there is truth in it. If you're currently right here and I tell you to go make $10,000 online, you're going to be like, I have no energy. I have no energy. F you, Nelly, I'm not going to go do that. And so if I asked you to do the same thing and your cup was all the way up here and maybe it was starting to topple over, right? The water was coming out, and I said, I'm challenging you to go make $10,000 online. You would most likely have a different response. It would most likely be something along the lines of okay, challenge accepted. You may have follow-up questions. You may have to go Google. You may have to go think about like, ooh, okay, how am I going to make $10,000? Or I'm going to figure it out, right? And so for the next week, my encouragement for you is to think about, okay, if your cup is currently here, okay, where it's like there's one little drop in it, your job in every little pocket of time that you have available, and you're even going to make the time, your commitment to yourself is to get this sucker filled up, right? We have a water filter and it was empty earlier today and I pulled it out and I filled it up because I like cold water with my happy juice. And so I wanted to make sure that it was all full and it was ready for tomorrow morning. So it's in there, it's ready to go. And that way I don't open up the fridge tomorrow and I'm sad because there's no water, right? So it's like we do need to be proactive for the cup to be filled and for it to get to the point of overflowing. Now, here's the really cool part of this. Every person has a cup checklist, is what we're going to call it. You know what will get your cup overflowing. So for me, let's just go through mine, like really fun and spontaneous. Like there's going to be a lot of them, but I guarantee you, I would love to see your checklist. I bet you have tons. You'll feel so abundant just even making this list. Okay. So, and I want you to go from when you're at the very bottom of your bucket all the way up to the top because the order does matter. So we're going to do this spontaneously. So we'll see how well I do with my order. But when my cup is at the very bottom, first and foremost, I shift my calendar because I want to be my best. So if there's anything I can shift on my calendar and renegotiate, that's one of my first things. Next is either meditate, sleep, rest, even if I can lay down for like a hot second, close my eyes, but rest. So clearing the calendar and rest, water, protein, movement, even if it's not like a hardcore workout, but I've been getting in such a good routine and I can feel the mental benefits, happy juice. Like these are now, like we're just at like I wish I had a different color. That's just like the base, right? The base. Managing and maintaining my to-do list may sound odd, but it really does help my brain and my energy because I want to be on top of everything as much as I can. I love delegating. Delegating is definitely on my checklist. Having routines in place also fill my cup up because then I'm not feeling reactive. My ADHD meds help me fill my cup up. A good song on the radio help me fill my cup up. The butt warmer makes me happy in my car. That makes me fill my cup up. A clean home, even if it's not perfect, but like the dishes are done. The laundry are done. I've vacuumed. I vacuumed earlier today and it was like very, very needed. Family time, a good movie, a good book, a good conversation with somebody, whether it's a client, a friend, like just like deep conversation. Like really, I love creating a product in my program, hearing the results that someone's getting from my work. I'm just like ad-libbing here, but like there's so many things that just like literally fill up my cup. And the powerful part about this is you can do that. You have access to those things and so many more so quickly, like so quickly. And so when we can know this, we can do it on purpose. So the hope is that it doesn't go below half full, right? So although you may feel like you're at empty, it may just be an opportunity like you need rest. For me, there was a lot of points last year that I truly did feel down here. Just sleep deprivation, newborn baby, lots of job, business responsibilities. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I cried more last year than I did, I think, ever. So it's refreshing now to not cry so much. So the goal here is that, we keep you at least a half full, if not always in overflow, always in overflow, always in overflow. Now, this is really cool. This is the last part I want to share with you that has been really helpful for me. So how we do most things is how we do most things. I guarantee you do something very, very well. Very well. You most likely are brushing over it because it comes so natural to you. But I want you to recognize yourself for what you do really, really well, because I guarantee you it does fill up your cup. It does fill up your cup. You may be really good with accounting. You may be really good with speaking on stage. You may be really good at video editing. You may be really good at graphic design or anything like that. So it's like our passions, whether we get paid for them or not, but our passions fill up our cup. Oops. They're passions. But our passions fill up our cup. And why is this important? I know in my heart of hearts that whether you're getting paid for any of your passions or some of your passions, but when we focus on one of your passions and monetizing it, it is going to create this massive constant flow for you for everything that you desire. So that way you're always in overflow. Always in overflow. I met with my Profit First coach today, and I am way closer to a goal that I've been working towards, and I'll share on it on another video. But I was reflecting because I had moments where I was in lack. So my cup was empty. This is lack. Okay. I was in lack, saying, oh my gosh, am I going to make it happen? Am I going to make it happen? I desire it. I want the overflow. I know that I'm capable, right? And we're playing this tug of war. You can't be in overflow if you're in lack. If you look at a visual, right? If you had a cup of water and you had one cup that had literally a drop in it, and you had another cup that was like it was under the faucet, one's abundance and one is lack. And so today, it instantly put me into abundance, visually seeing that I'm literally so close to a goal that a month ago, I was literally thinking I was not going to make it happen. And I had a month, and this is a deadline I've made up for myself. This is a pretend deadline, but it's a goal that I'm wanting to achieve. And seeing it today and oh my gosh, I'm so close, instantly put me in overflow that I guarantee you I will reach that goal so much faster because I chose to be in abundance, and I saw it. I visually saw it. And so even if you don't feel like the overflow is happening, if you are in lack, you focusing not on what you're in lack about, whether it's money, if you're in lack about time, money, maybe a relationship. We'll just put a little heart down here. We could do a better heart. Here we go. Okay, there's a better heart for you. But you might be feeling in lack about something. Oh, health. Health is another one. So what changed when with the goal that I was working towards? I stopped focusing on it. And that may sound hard or weird, but I was putting so much pressure on the goal, and the goal was made up, but it was a goal that I had. But there was so much focus and energy and stress around it that I was depleting my energy. And so I actually allowed it just to be there. I was still working towards it, but I kind of took my focus away from it. It was like, you know what? I need to work on getting my health in order. I was not working out. I finished a half marathon in October, and I just fell off the radar. So I was in lack with my health. So the reason why I bring this up is because how we do most things is how we do most things. So I chose to take the energy and the focus away from the lack of the money goal and just let it be there. And then I focused on my health. Wouldn't you know it? This is literally in overflow. And it is helping everything else. Everything else. And I do believe there's no like rhyme or reason. Like you could pick time, you could pick money, you could pick love, you could pick something else. But pick something else that doesn't feel so hard, right? It didn't feel as hard to like go work out. So that's what I went and did. So it allowed me to create abundance and overflow with a different goal that was also still important, that now, you know, it's like all the boats in the harbor rise. Like, so everything is now rising. Everything. And so sometimes we've got to change up our approach. And that's the exact thing that we need to do to get all the results that we're wanting. Don't you love this drawing? I'm such a good artist. So if you're feeling like you're down here for something, change up your approach, change up your focus, just shake it up. Remember, abundance means movement. So you continuing to be in lack and be at the bottom of your bucket is not going to help anything or anyone. And it feels awful. So it's not that I don't want you to continue to focus on that, but for a short period of time, it's kind of a way to trick your brain and trick your energy and just go do something else. It's kind of like when the guy stopped talking to the girl and then the girl's like, oh, I want you more. Not that I think that is the best strategy when it comes to actual relationships, but you know what I'm trying to say here. So make the other goal jealous and go focus on another goal that doesn't feel so hard. I put on my tennis shoes, I started working out, and then I kept working out, and then I kept showing back up, and like it felt easier than the other goal. And so that can be huge. Anytime I'm feeling funky in my business, I go clean my house because my house feels like an easier thing. And again, abundance. I know when I go move, I'll come back to my business and I'll get the clarity that I'm needing. I've burned some energy, especially if you have ADHD. There is such a thing as being understimulated. So like you've got to go burn energy. I've looked forward to going and working out because of that reason, because I do have a lot of energy and I do need to burn it. So cleaning, working out, etc. has been super helpful for me. And it's showing myself, wow, you're putting yourself first. You're keeping your promise to yourself. Oh, remember that goal that you had in your business that you really, really wanted? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make that happen for you. Like it just showed up. It went from 0 to 60 so freaking fast. And it came to me in so many unusual ways that is so powerful, but it's because I was more open to it. I wasn't stressed about it. When we are under so much stress, I really do believe it like completely depletes our bucket. So any goal that you have, I believe, is so much energy management. It's not even funny. Like, because no matter what goal you have, you're always the one filling up the bucket or depleting it. Even when other people sometimes try to tip it over, but like you're still the main person. And so us knowing your checklist is super helpful because it can allow us to like increase the cup so much faster, get it in overflow that will then positively spill over to other areas of your life. And if you don't believe me, this works, unfortunately, the opposite way. When you feel like you're stressed in your money, you don't eat as well, right? You don't sleep as well. Your relationships are strained. You are so annoyed with time. Like, so lack does spill over to other parts of our life. And so I don't say that to frustrate you. I say it to like give you contrast of like, if that is true, then it absolutely gets to be true of the opposite, that the overflow is totally possible. And when we have overflow in our health, we're going to eventually have overflow in our money. And when we have overflow in our time, then we're eventually going to have overflow in our relationships and everything in between. So I'm really, really excited for you. Wherever your cup is right now, you have the power to increase it. Start small and trust yourself. Ask yourself, like, what do I need? I am actually going to go to sleep. There's a lot of things I could do in my business that I'm excited to do, but my body is telling me, go to sleep. I have a chunk of time to work on my business tomorrow. It will be okay. It'll be okay. And I'll be a much better human because of it. So just the more we can have that feminine approach and create that overflow, everyone, including you, will win. So I hope that this was helpful. Work on your bucket and just filling it up little by little by little, and you will feel the difference. And then we've got to keep doing it. That's the key. We've got to keep doing it and making it a priority and enjoying the process as well. So share this with a friend. Again, Kathy, thank you so much for sponsoring this doodle. If you would like to sponsor a doodle, it's just $25. We do repurpose all of our videos to our podcast and YouTube and our blog and all the things. So you get massive exposure, even long term. So for $25, it's not so bad. And you support other women going through our program so we can keep them super, super affordable. So more and more women can learn high income skills to crush it online and make the money that they desire and feel good doing it. So I love you. Good night or good morning, depending on when you're watching or listening to this. And I'll see you on the next doodle.